right? And everything was great. And then all of a sudden, we've been living on that dream for about 20 years. And now, you know, the new vision didn't come. All communities compete for tax revenues. And, you know, most of it was coming into Gurnee, but now most people shop outside of Gurnee. And if we keep doing that, there's nothing else to do but raise the taxes to pay our expenditures. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get us back to basics. What I like to see is we need to go into Gurnee Mills and demand that they rehabilitate that mall and create a 21st century shopping experience, just like Old Orchard did in their community down in Skokie. We need to develop, which we never have, the East Grand Avenue, the East Grand Corridor, because District 56 schools are suffering. I know that's separate from the village. However, they can be helped if we build up the East Grand Corridor. And I think then when the revenue and the shopping returns, we're able to take the tax burden off of the residents, because, you know, and then if you do that, the residents have more of their own dollars to spend again, and then we create more, and then we can have more. If you'll take a look at what's going on right now, Gurnee hasn't really built anything new in our town. As I said, Gurnee Mills is faltering. There's potholes in the parking lot. There's a security issue over there. People are afraid to shop there. And if you'll take a look, Lincolnshire, all new stores. Lakehurst sold off, not Lakehurst, Lake County Fairgrounds. They sold their property. They want a high-end mall. Lindenhurst wants a mall. Antioch wants a mall. Prime Outlets in Pleasant Prairie just renovated their malls with all new stores, and the shopping's so great you can't even find parking over there. Well, guess who's shopping over there? A lot of people in Gurnee are shopping over there. Even Waukegan with Lakehurst, now Fountain Square, is beautiful. And as a result, you know, you have a situation where they're circling the wagon and we're going to lose out, and that's my fear, and I think it's time to change our leadership to create a new experience for Gurnee.
We're going to bring the other two candidates back to sit with all of us. And you can start lining up at the microphone, if you would, to ask your questions. We'll give $1 for the first person.
I feel like I'm on American Idol. But you don't want me to sing because I'll get voted off.
I'm going to give the mayor her seat because, I mean, she deserves that. She is the mayor of Gurnee, and I will do that for her.
Are all the mics set?
Are all of them on? No. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
If next year Great America decides to close its doors and we lose that amusement tax revenue, what happens to the residents of Gurnee, and what do you three plan to do about that, should that happen?
Okay. Right now, we are not anticipating that Great America will close. They are in one of those situations where they're trying to restructure debt, and obviously the capital markets are frozen. So they have shown us the plans of what they are going to do behind the scenes. But this park will open this year. If there is a catastrophic event in the capital markets and they don't, we do get about $2 million a year. We have strong reserves. We would be able to weather it. Property really couldn't be used for anything else in the short term. So we would have to probably dip into our reserves. And right now we have almost 50% of our budget in reserves, and that's exactly why we have reserves. You know, and obviously then there's more cutbacks in personnel or services. But we've had 3 or 4 meetings with Great America over the last month, and we've gone through their financials with them. They've explained to us how they plan to stay open and operate. If you don't know, this particular park is one of their most profitable per square foot. A lot of this was a result of a smaller entity buying a larger entity and taking on a lot of debt, and now that when that debt has a balloon payment, which commercial loans do, they're having trouble refinancing it. I think under the protection and with the plans that they're doing, they'll probably sell off some of the less profitable parks, and they'll be stronger for it. But this is a very profitable park. So I'm not concerned this year, and I really firmly believe, knowing what they've told us and looking at their financials, that they will find a way to stay open.
If I can add to that, I am very concerned with what happens at the park, and the village should be concerned with that. In the end, if they do close, that is very prime real estate, and I think that the village, with the people, can decide on how we can better turn that property into something viable for the future of Gurnee. I am concerned, and the writing's on the wall. Major companies, small companies, nobody is out of the woods here, and Great America really has a problem on their hands. So when it costs an average family $400 to visit the park, it is hard to do for many people today. They have a problem, and they have to get out of it, and I just don't think the future looks bright for that venue.
I think if the park goes down, I think we'll be in trouble. You know, while we do have a reserve, my view is that we not touch that reserve. But I think, you know, of course, we'd have to shrink our village government and do what is necessary to bring our expenditures in line with our revenues. But you know, my view on it is we should be managing the village such that we're prepared for such things that could happen in our future. And I think we've not adequately done that. We're spending just about every dollar that comes into the village, and so when anything happens that's catastrophic, we obviously have to go to the reserve to deal with it. And I just think there's a better way to run the village, where we're not so far out on a limb, if you will. So we would have to shrink our government and simply you know, bring our expenses in line with our revenues, and it would be unfortunate because it would take quite a while to overcome a situation like that. And again, you know, when you're out on a limb like that, you must create that revenue, and in doing that, you know, again, that tax burden begins to shift towards the residents because they're on the hook for it, and you know. And I think, you know, it's just irresponsible of us to run our government in that way.
Our reserves, just for the record, are $17 million. That's part of what we've been doing through the budget hearings, making sure that we have a lot. It's not a minuscule amount of money. Sir?
Okay. I actually have two questions, and I apologize for the line behind me that... If you could address them both, that'd be wonderful. You know, Gurnee's known for three things: Gurnee Mills, Great America, and the 100-year flood that occurs every year. My first question is, what is the plan on mitigating the flood that costs us millions of dollars a year in sandbagging and overtime? And is there a plan to do something with Gurnee? And my second question. One of the other, we talk about, you know, upgrading the east side and river walks and train stations, but we never talk about how we fund these. And as I've read through some of the notes that we're still rebating tax money back to car dealerships and other entities, where do we come up with the money to improve Gurnee?
Go first.
Okay, thank you. First question, if I can remember it.
Flood mitigation.
There was plans drawn up. Thank you, Mayor. There was plans drawn up or discussed years ago the land that is near the border of Wisconsin, say Russell Road area, all those farms were approached and discussed that